Ay, sama. Wah. Ya. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I've got in the studio here at the Artist Work Studio here in Napa. One of my really favorite guitarists. He's just incredible. I just love his playing. Julian Lage.
Thank you, Martin. Thank you so much.
Great to see you. We've known each
too.
other, even though you're a very, very young man.
Yeah.
We've known each other for a long time.
Yeah.
I think it goes back to about 1998.
Yeah. I was about either 10 or 11 years old.
10 or 11 years,
Yeah.
I remember. And what is frightening about that was that's actually the very first tune that we played.
That's true.
Together.
That's true. That's
we
true.
sat in David Grisman's
in his
room,
living room,
in his
right?
living room,
Yeah.
and we just sat down, and he was a little kid, and I said, "What would you like to play?" He says, "Well, I'm a big Bill Evans fan."
That's where it started, right?
I know.
I would kill to have a recording of that the first time. I don't know if it exists. But
I think Dog probably has one
probably
somewhere.
has something.
Knowing him, he's a great man
Yeah.
for archiving everything.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Now the thing is, you hadn't only just started playing, because you've been playing. What age you started?
I started when I was 5 years old, and I was basically just a big guitar nerd. I mean, I still am, but my father got a guitar around the time I was 4 years old.
Yeah,
And
it's funny, we're the same.
Is that right?
Yeah,
You were 4 when
I
you
got a ukulele at 4, and then
wow.
a guitar at
I got
5.
a harmonica at 4. Didn't pan out. Yeah, well, it's something about that age where you're just starting to realize that you can do things, you know? And music seemed like a natural progression, and guitar was just perfect. And
Did it feel it felt natural straight away for you, did it?
it felt, I wouldn't say it was natural in the sense that it was fascinating. You know, even the things that I couldn't play, I loved. Even if I sounded bad, I loved it. You know, so it wasn't like it came easy, but I felt very drawn to the whole process. You know?
See, I don't meet many jazz guitarists that started out around the same time as I do, as I did. So the best way I can describe it was, as a kid, when you really don't know very much at all. You've only been around for 4 or 5 years.
Right.
But it just made sense to me.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Did you have that feeling?
It felt like there was a logic to it that I could kind of pinpoint.
Yeah, everything else was a complete mystery.
Yeah, I didn't even bother with the rest.
I didn't know what else. I'm still a bit like that now,
Me too.
to be honest. So, I mean, when you started, but you didn't start out playing jazz, did you?
No, I was pretty much a blues guitar nut.
Because there was a very famous documentary made about you.
Oh, yeah. When I was about 7 years old, this documentary was made.
Yeah. Who made that again?
The guy's name is Mark Becker, and he made it as I think a kind of a final project at Stanford University. He was getting his master's, and for whatever reason, he chose me, and he made this film, and I think it's sweet looking back now, because it's basically me as a little kid.
Yeah.
Being obsessed with guitar, going to elementary school, and kind of juggling that life.
How do you feel when you watch yourself then?
I recognize parts, and other parts it seems like a totally different person.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I guess it is.
I guess it is to a certain degree. I was very lucky though. I mean, when I started playing guitar, it was always improvisation based. You know, my dad actually had a very cool approach. The first thing I remember learning was a scale, like a pentatonic, like a blues scale. And the concept was that if you improvise, you can't play anything wrong. You know, it's just whatever you feel like that day, as long as it's these 5 notes.
You know,
cool.
I tell all my students here that, you know, I don't know where I first heard this. I don't know who I can credit this to, but I wasn't the person that said it. But I once heard someone say, in jazz, there's no such thing as mistakes, only opportunities.
There you go, man. That's so true. And more I realize that that's kind of why I stuck with it to a certain degree. Because if you learn a song and you can be correct or wrong, it's a gamble. It's 50-50, you know. But if you view them as opportunities, every day is something new. I like that about it.